Hi everyone, welcome to another review. Today I am reviewing the Canon imageCLASS LBP612CDW. Now this is a laser printer, it's a color laser printer, and it is exactly what they say it is. It's a printer. It's not a fax machine, it's not a scanner, copier, it's just a flat out printer. The reason why I got this is because that's all I really needed. I just wanted a printer. I didn't want all the fancy spancy stuff, and I didn't want to pay extra for features that I'll never use. This is a pretty decent printer. You can get it on Amazon. I'll leave the link in the description. And well, let's get started with the review. So one of the things I don't like about it is it doesn't hold a lot of paper. So the paper drawer is right here, and it only holds, I believe, about 150 sheets of paper. But I use it for home use, so I don't do a ton of printing, so this is pretty perfect for me. I don't have any issues, but it's real easy to fill if you need to fill it with a printer. And you can also adjust it so that it can print out on envelopes. It really does print very well, and it doesn't take long to warm up. That's another feature that I like. My last printer seemed like it took 5 minutes to warm up, and I'm going to show you all that in a moment. This little spot right here is so you can hook up a USB flash drive. I don't know if you can see it in the camera. Try to get in there. And you can print directly from a flash drive if you need to. The only problem is you can't see the image that's on the flash drive before you print it. So you have to put it on your PC first, view the image, and then you can print it right from there if you want to. Here is the keypad. It's a standard keypad that most printers have. The power button is on the front right here, so you press that and watch how fast this thing warms up. It's coming up now. That's it. It's done. It's ready to go. That quick. Here are some examples that I'm going to show you right now. This is a photo that printed out of my daughter at a park. You can see it's very good quality. I mean, this paper is just standard legal paper, and it's no special paper or anything. And that print quality, I think, is really good. I'm trying not to get the glare of the camera in there. Here's another example photo of my cat. And here is an example of, yes, you can also print on letter, regular envelopes as well. So that's a good feature. To replace the ink cartridges, all you do is there's a little latch on the side here, just pulls it open, and you can have access to the ink cartridges. You just pull this little lever, this little blue lever, pull it out, and there's all the ink cartridges right there. Very simple, very easy. They just lift out and lift back in. Very easy. I'm all about easy. And you just simply push it back in until it clips, and that's it. This is a wireless printer as well. And it does come with a setup CD, as you can see right here. I had a little issue with this when I first installed it. Now, when you first get the printer, they will say, you'll have like a little card and it'll say, please do not turn on printer, install CD drivers first. Well, when you do that, the software starts immediately looking for the printer, and if the printer's not on, it's not going to find the printer. So you have to turn the printer on. I had no issues at all setting up the wireless. I pretty much turned the printer on, and the PC found the printer pretty quickly, and it set it up pretty. It's pretty standard. It's very, very simple to use. Now you can also set this up using an RJ45 cable, and you can plug it in directly. But it does come with a power cable, as you can see, but that's the only thing it comes with is a power cable. It does not come with any other cables. So if you need a printer cable, you're going to have to order that separately. And on the back here is the RJ45. You want to connect it directly, and this little thing right here, just pull that protector cap out. That's the printer cable if you need a printer cable to hook it up directly. Back here is another lever. You can pull this lever open and you can get to the back of the printer in case you had any paper jams, or if you need to replace the rollers or whatever. It's very, very easy access. Hi everyone. So before I end the video, I wanted to give you an example of how quickly the printer prints. So this is a photo that I wanted to print out. This is of an icy lake at a nature reserve that we went to, and I wanted to print this out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit File, I want to hit Print, I want to do a full page print. So I'm going to go ahead and hit Print right now. Getting ready, printing page 1. And it is sending it to the printer right now. And it is starting to print out as I speak. You might even hear it on the mic. And there it is. So it was only a few seconds later and it printed right out. So that's pretty quick, and the print quality is excellent. Anyway, thanks everybody. Here comes the pros and cons. Hi everyone. We're going to go ahead and go over some of the pros and cons with this printer. Now please keep in mind I can only rate this based on my own experience. I know others have experienced other issues with this printer that I haven't, but I can't rate this on other users' experience, only on my own. So let's go ahead and begin. So under the pros, I love that it's fast printing. I mean, compared to my last printer, this one is lights and beyond better than my last printer. My last printer took over a minute just to warm up and another minute just to print one page. And that was ridiculous. This one's a lot faster, a lot better, and the quality is very well. Speaking of quality, it's excellent quality. Whether you're printing a regular document or you're printing a document with photos or you're just printing photos, it came out very well. Some users on Amazon I noticed complained about streaking, but I haven't gotten any streaking at all. It's been about 6 months since I had this printer. I've been using it on and off. I've had zero issues with it, no streaking, and it's been working fantastic, at least for me. It's fairly easy to set up. Now I did put this on the Pro, but it's kind of sort of a con as well. And let me go ahead and explain that. So setting up the wireless can be a little tricky, especially if you're going by the manual. When you first unbox the printer, and I wish I still had this, there's a little piece of paper that says stop on it, and it says do not hook up unless you install the drivers first. Well, that's kind of, you really can't hook up the drivers, because even when you use the CD, as soon as you install the CD and as soon as you start doing the drivers, it starts looking for the printer. Well, if your printer's not hooked up, it's not going to find it, so you can't go any further. So that took me a little bit to figure out, and once I decided to hook the printer up first, I had no issues. So I hooked the printer up, Windows found it. Windows started installing drivers for it, but I stopped it and went to the CD and continued with the CD setup. So, that part was a little confusing. The wireless isn't too bad to set up either. It was pretty easy for me. I know others on Amazon have complained about the wireless setup, but to me, I turned the printer on. I set it so that it can connect via wireless instead of direct connect or through the printer cable. It found my wireless connection. I put in my security code and it connected, and I had no problems. I mean, it took me maybe 10 minutes to set it up. And that's only because I was fumbling around with the controls. And, I've had no problems. So to me, it was fairly easy to set up. But if you go by the manual, you're going to get confused. So take that for what that is. And I want to put this on the positive side, even though others have complained. But I've had zero streaks at all through any of my documents, through any of my photos. I did not have a line going down it like some others have complained about. Keep in mind, these printers are printed off an assembly line. Not everyone is going to be perfect, and not everyone's going to work the same. So you're going to have defective units, and I'm sorry for those who have had defective units, but in my case, I couldn't be happier. I didn't have any streaks at all. Uh, it's sort of kind of on the high side of the price, but it's kind of, I don't know if this is really a pro or a con, but the printer costs about $200, but it is a laser printer. You're getting a laser printer, but that's it. You're only getting a printer. You're not getting a scanner. You're not getting a copier. You're not getting a fax machine. It's just exactly what it is. It's a printer. But to me, I think the price is worth it for this because, like I said, it's a laser printer. It prints very fast. It prints pretty clear and excellent photos as long as documents. So I think the price is reasonable. It is a little on the high side, but I still, in my opinion, I still think it's reasonable. You can buy cheaper printers, but they're not, chances are they're not going to be a laser printer. So, and you might be an off brand that you might be, you know, risking your luck with. It's just my opinion, but, you know, I think it's pretty good. And it, like I said, it does have a wireless connection. You can also connect it with a printer cable, and you can also connect it directly with an RJ45. You might not always be in the same room with the printer, so an RJ running a cable through your house just to connect the printer might not be the best thing to do. But at least you do have the option with it, so I think that's a pro. So let's go ahead and with the cons. And like I said, I can only base this on my own experience. It doesn't hold a lot of paper. It only holds about, at max, 150 sheets of paper. To me, that's not a big deal because I really don't print a lot. Nowadays, we use email mostly for everything. But there's those occasions where I want to print out tickets or I want to print out a document and I want to have a hard copy. 150 pages of paper. Really, to me, it works out great for me. But if it's this is in an office environment where multiple people are using it, it's not going to be that good because you're going to be filling up the paper quite a bit. It's only 150 papers. The manual. Now, I briefly went over this in the pros section, even though this isn't a pro, but the manual is a little confusing. If you go by the manual word by word, you're going to have issues. At least I had issues. I could not get the PC to even find the printer, even though the manual says do not turn on the printer before you install the drivers. Well, you can't. You can't install the drivers because the software is looking for the printer to install the drivers for. And if your printer is not hooked up or turned on, it ain't going to find it. So that was a little confusing. It took me a minute to figure that out. And it does not come with a printer cable. I don't know how you can sell a printer and not have a printer cable. That should be, in my opinion, standard with all printers. It should have a printer cable. Every printer I ever got at least had a printer cable. This one does not. For the price you pay for this, you would expect at least have that, and I shouldn't have to have an extra expense just to buy a printer cable, but this one doesn't have one. So if you know that going in, and if you plan on using wireless, like I did, it's not going to be a big deal. But not everybody wants to use wireless, so please keep that in mind. Otherwise, let's go ahead and go with the final verdict. For me, for this printer, I want to give it a 3 stars. It does everything that I want it to do. The reason why I'm giving it 3 stars is because there's no printer cable. That's inexcusable. Should be one with it. It really doesn't hold a lot of paper. But like I said, for me, it's no big deal. But I know a lot of people want it to use this in an office environment. And, you know, 150 paper max isn't going to cut it in an office environment. And the confusing manual drops to the point as well because it's confusing. It leaves much to be desired. But there are videos, and Canon also made a video themselves I found on YouTube of how to set up the wireless, which is a little different than their own manual, but take that for what it's worth. But the video really is helpful and is on Amazon. It is on YouTube. Anyway, that's my final verdict. 3 out of 5 stars. To me, is it worth a buy? I think so. It does exactly what it says it does. It's a printer. It prints well, in my opinion, and I have had no issues with it. Thank you everyone for watching this video, and I will catch you on the next one. Thanks. Bye-bye.